Welcome to Rolf Hitzer behind the for sale sign. Well, we're coming into actually my favorite time of year, which is the fall. It's autumn. Leaves are changing color. I love the smell in the air. I love the warm days, crisp nights. As a Canadian, love this time of year. So what I want to talk about today is what is a mortgage commitment date? A lot of confusion on that. And so I'm going to say buyer beware of what this really means, mortgage commitment date. It's a key word. When you get pre-approved to buy a house, you are getting a guaranteed mortgage rate. Often it could be as early as 60-day guaranteed rate, 90 days. I think 120 is probably the longest rate guarantee. And so what that means is you get pre-approved today, you're guaranteed a rate no matter what happens with interest rates, and now you start your home shopping process. And you find a house, you put an offer in, your offer is accepted, however, your possession date is beyond your mortgage commitment rate. Well, here comes the quandary or potential financial problem that you might face. If rates have gone up during that time, you are no longer getting the rate that you were guaranteed for. You're now getting a higher rate. Here is another possible double jeopardy, is you may not qualify for the mortgage versus what you were approved for just a few months earlier. And I'm going to take an actual, post-COVID real life scenario with interest rates, commitment rates. People were getting new homes built, having a contract with the builder signed with a really low interest rates, because during COVID, the government of Canada had really exceptionally low rates to keep the economy churning during a very unknowing and challenging times. Well, with the supply chain delays, construction was in delay. And some homes are taking up to 2 years, even 3 years to be ready from possession. Well, picture you having a rate of, let's say, 1.8% or 2%, and now the rates are 5%. Well, if you're buying a $500,000 plus home, your financial picture just changed. And there were home buyers that could not close because they no longer could afford and were declined the mortgage financing. So there's an example of what commitment date means and what happens if everything, possession date and so on and so forth, goes beyond the commitment date. Your rate is no longer the same. The good news is, in current times, rates are trending downwards. And so here is the upside is if you have a commitment rate. I'm just going to pick random numbers out of my head because it's mental math works for me. So if you have a commitment rate of 5% and rates drop to 4.5% and your possession date is past your commitment date, you are now getting the lower rate. Banks will always say, we'll give you the lower of the two. They'll never, if rates go up to 6% and you're past your commitment date, your world has changed financially. Your mortgage payments have changed. And of course, it's like, I hope I still get the mortgage, let alone the higher rate. So that's the difference between the two, commitment date versus possession date, really important. And so when you're planning on buying a house, you have to carry on with that conversation with your lender going, if I take a possession date past my commitment date, how's that going to affect me if rates go up? That may influence your decision on either A, buying the house that you want, B, changing your possession date to fall in line with your commitment date, because it's much easier to rent out, sublet your existing living space, because just like there's a shortage for housing, there's also a shortage for rental homes as well. So please beware that this could have a big impact on you should interest rates start going back up again. Anyways, that's all I have for today. Thanks for tuning in to Rolf Hitzer Behind the For Sale sign. You know I have a sign and you know I will travel. Thanks.